Everyone, I'm Noah, and welcome to a new episode of The Beauty I See. I'm so glad you're here. This episode is called Spring's Subtle Triumph, Finding Beauty in My Own Snapshot. Before we begin, take a moment. Get comfortable. Maybe you're sitting with a cup of tea. Maybe you're out on a walk. Maybe you just need a moment to slow down and breathe. Wherever you are, I invite you to step into this moment with me, to see what I saw, to feel what I felt, to take in the beauty that surrounded me on one quiet April afternoon. There's something honest about a picture taken on a whim. No setup, no plan, just me, my camera, and a moment I decided to keep. I had a Kodak digital camera back then, nothing extravagant, but at the time, 24 megapixels felt like something serious, like maybe I could capture a little more detail, see things a little more clearly. I wasn't a photographer, not by any stretch, but I liked the idea of taking pictures, of having something to hold on to, something to look back on. So I carried that camera with me, even when I wasn't thinking about what I might capture. Photography had always intrigued me, even as a kid. I remember the old Polaroids, the ones you had to shake and wait, hoping the image would develop just right. I even took photography in junior high school, learning how to develop film in a darkroom. But that class? I mostly took it to get out of gym. I wasn't serious about it. Still, there was something about freezing a moment that stuck with me. And maybe, even then, I knew I wanted to remember things, to document the world the way I saw it, even if just for myself. That day, April 24th, 2009, I was walking through Forest Park. Not for any particular reason, just to be outside, to breathe in the fresh air now that winter had finally let go. Forest Park is one of those places that makes you forget you're in the middle of Queens. It stretches wide, trees reaching high, paths winding through in ways that make you feel like you've stepped out of the city, even though the world keeps moving just beyond the trees. I wasn't looking for anything specific, just walking, listening, letting the world move at its own pace around me. I could hear the wind shifting through the branches, the distant hum of traffic from the Jackie Robinson Parkway, and somewhere, beyond the trees, the deep, steady rumble of a train. A freight line, not for passengers, cutting through the farthest edge of the park. People had made holes in the fence near those tracks, finding their own way across. The city never really disappears, even when you think it does. I didn't know I was about to take a picture that would stay with me for years. I remember the exact moment I saw it. A tiny bud stretching upward, catching the light just right. The young leaves looked almost translucent, the sun filtering through them like stained glass. It was just a plant, nothing grand, nothing extraordinary. But something about it made me stop. I hesitated before taking the picture. I don't know why. Maybe because I wasn't sure it would come out right. Maybe because I wasn't sure it was worth taking at all. But I stepped closer anyway. Adjusted my grip, focused as best as I could, and then, click. I didn't take just one. I took a few shots, adjusting slightly, trying to capture what I saw. Some came out blurry, some were too dark. But this was the one I kept, the one that felt right. I've taken plenty of pictures over the years. Some I deleted immediately, some I barely remember. But this one stayed. It's been sitting on my computer for over a decade now. Nearly 2 if I really think about it. And even though I've moved on from that camera, from that day, from that moment, I still find myself looking at this picture and feeling something. Maybe it's the memory of that quiet afternoon, walking with no destination in mind. Maybe it's the way the light moves through the leaves, reminding me of something fragile, something full of potential. Maybe it's just the simple fact that I saw it, that I stopped, that I captured it, and that, in doing so, I gave that moment to myself forever. I wasn't a photographer. I still wouldn't call myself one, but I gave myself permission to see, to pause, to appreciate, and that's what the beauty I see is all about. Not just finding perfection, but finding meaning in what we capture, in what we choose to keep. So here it is, my snapshot, my moment, my spring's subtle triumph. What's yours? Take a moment, look around you. What's one thing, just one small thing, that catches your eye? The way the light hits the window, the color of a flower on the sidewalk, the sound of the wind moving through the trees. Whatever it is, let it be yours. Let it be a reminder that beauty isn't something you have to go searching for. Sometimes It's right there, waiting for you to see it. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you enjoyed this, I'd love to have you back for the next episode of The Beauty I See. Until then, stay curious, stay open, and keep looking for the beauty around you.